Alright. I'm glad I waited. I don't know. It's like a sixth sense with me. I know when to stall on stories. Like when a story immediately comes out, no matter how it is, I gotta see something that's gonna make me go, alright, I know what I'm saying. Man, there was a whole lot of shit that just wasn't known with this. And now, half a week later, we're starting to get more information. So I would kind of like to now discuss this thing as a whole, as far as what's gone on, what happened. I would like to break down the situation, and I would like to talk about what has come to light today. So this could be a long one, and I have pizza coming. So we might have to take a pizza break at some point. I apologize, but I got pizza coming. It's gonna be here in like a half an hour, not even maybe. So yeah, there might be a small segment of holy shit, I got pizza coming. So that doesn't matter for you. I'm gonna edit that out. But I'm just saying, you're gonna hear my phone ring, and I'm gonna go shit, and I'm gonna come back in a second. I don't know why I'm bothering you. Anyways, alright, so this is actually very serious. What the fuck am I doing? So over the weekend, on I believe Saturday, there's a man in Wendy's drive-thru in his car, asleep. One of the Wendy's employees calls the police. They're getting complaints. There's a dude who's sleeping in his car, and everybody's going around him. They call the police. Police come out, talk to the guy, tell him, well, why don't you pull on over there? So he pulls over there, right? They talk to him some more. They go, all right, look, we're going to do this road sobriety thing. Right? They offer him the opportunity to take breathalyzer. He concedes, does the breathalyzer. They go, all right, you're too drunk to drive, man. So they move to take him in. Now, he fights with the cops. There's a tussle. They go to tase him. He gets a hold of one of the tasers. There's more rolling around and tussling. He's able to throw off the two cops. He gets up, makes a break for it with the taser. There's a very short foot race. The man turns, fires the taser, continues to run. The officer kind of takes cover behind a car and fires twice into his back, killing the man. Now, that is the bare bones, no emotion reporting of events as they played out. One after another, ... Now let's break down the situation. How did it begin? This man decided to go out, drink, and then drive home after stopping at Wendy's. Now, I've been drunk and driven home myself in the past. Not proud of it. It's been done. There were many times I probably should have been picked up and taken home or taken to the precinct to be charged with what I should have reasonably been charged with. So, I understand the level of drunk you have to be to wind up falling asleep in your car as you're driving home. Now, my brain doesn't work properly. The sleeping part of it is all fuckered up. So I don't get drunk and pass out. That has never happened to me. And I've been very drunk. And I don't pass out. It's still a pain in the ass for me to fall asleep. It's more of a pain in the ass for me to fall asleep, but I'm drunk because it's got dizzies. And, you roll on your side, but, that's not entirely comfortable right off the bat. I have to kind of sleep on my back I have to kind of lay there on my back for a minute and kind of let my body relax and, all that shit before I can dare sleep on my fucking terrible shitty shoulder. Right? So, there's still a lot of preparation that has to happen. So no matter how drunk I get, I don't pass out. So I will say that my insight into this, while flawed in both practice and application, right? So I have been drunk enough where I was like, all right, I ain't driving because I'm too drunk, and I've just slept in the car. I've done that before, but in the parking lot, outside of the bar. You know what I mean? I just slept in the parking lot. There have been those times too. I'm not that stupid. So, this guy was in the parking, he was in the drive-thru, drunk enough that he passed out. Now I say passed out. I don't know. Reports have not confirmed my suspicions. But I suspect somebody honked their horn at him. And I've, nodded off, kind of, because I've just, like I said, I'm fucked up. During the day, I get very tired. And if I'm sitting there doing nothing, I get really fucking tired. And if I'm already kind of tired, because I had a shitty night's sleep the night before, I will doze in the most inappropriate times. Now, I've done that shit in the drive-thru before. And, beep. Somebody had to have honked their horn at this guy. So if nobody honked their horn at him and everybody just went, well, fuck this dude, and drove around him, I could see that happening too, right? And that could mean that he wasn't totally and utterly ripped and passed out. But if one person honked at that dude, my guess is he was pretty fucking ripped and passed out, right? So, Wendy's personnel called the police. Now, could the Wendy's person have gone out there and fucking... and I'm kind of glazing over the last of that Dewey part because, dude, the guy was drunk as fuck. That's not good to begin with. He could have saved himself by not going and getting drunk and driving home, which is the responsible, law-abiding thing to do. I say, after admitting I've been a shithead in the past. We all have a past. Should this man have been killed for this? No. But nevertheless, he could have saved himself no amount of trouble had he not done that. Right? All the sober people went through Wendy's that night. Went home. Ate some fucking Baconators. Moving on. Could the Wendy's place, could they have gone, sent somebody, hey, go out and fucking knock on this dude's window and be like, hey, buddy, you want your food? But at the same time, they have a responsibility to the safety and well-being of their employees. And apparently that manager had many multiple possibilities of how they came to this conclusion. But they came to the conclusion of, I don't know who that guy is, what his intentions are, what state of being he's in. I don't know what's going on. There's no fucking way in hell I'm sending one of these kids, or old ladies, as seems to be mostly Wendy's now, out there to go and fucking knock on the window of Pandora's box. There's no fucking way I'm going to be responsible for that shit. What happens if they scare the motherfucker and they shoot him? Whoever they are. White, black, doesn't matter. Male, female, adult, child, like, it doesn't fucking matter. What happens if the person in that Pandora's box, what happens if that's what they're looking for? Hitting Wendy's people. You know, the fast food wars are intense. There's no fucking way I'm sending somebody out there. Ain't gonna happen. So call the cops. Cops will come out and deal with it. Right? Cops come out to deal with. You get a call. Dude sleeps in Wendy's. He's like, you go out there and see what's up. So they go, car 43, yeah, whatever. They roll up. Hey, buddy. Right? What are you doing? Right? And I watched the video. I watched the body cam video. Guys over the door, hey, what's up? And they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I was just resting my, you know, that whole thing. And they're like, well, how about, you know, you're in the Wendy's drive-through. How about you go park it over there for a minute? We'll get out of your way so that you can get over there. And the dude's like, all right. And he complies. Fantastic. You know? What has happened? Cops came. Hey, move. The dude goes, sure. Moves. Wendy's is now doing business, uninterrupted again. Fantastic. Everything's great. And then they talk to the dude. What's up? Oh, you know, this stuff's happening. Hold on a second. The thing just came up and it was a map, and that's my place. And like, apparently it's here. My pizza might be here. Anyways, so what did I say? Alright, they're chatting. You know, apparently his mom had passed away recently or something like that, and he was upset. And so he, you know, he went out. And they're like, all right, you know, like, you know, how much you drink? And he says, how much you drink? And they're like, all right, well, let's do a road sobriety test just to make sure that you've slept it off enough that you can safely drive yourself home. And he's like, all right. And he gets out, does the road sobriety test. Everything's fine. And, you know, they say, all right, well, look, you're a little bit wobbly. Let's see where you're at. Let's blow into the thingy. And he's like, oh, man. And they're like, well, hey, you can say no. And he's like, well, I don't want to say no to anything. And he's like, well, you have the right. You do it if you want, or you can say no. If you say no, we got to take you in. Because that's the fucking law. We're here to enforce the law. The law is, if you're wobbly enough, we gotta have you blow. If you blow fucked up, we gotta take you in. If you refuse to blow, we gotta take you in. That's the law. And he's like, alright, I'll do it. He didn't go into that much explanation. I am embellishing at this point. My total recall is fuzzy. But nevertheless, this is reality, right? Guy goes, alright, fine. I'll blow this thing. So they come out with the thing. He blows in the thing. They read the thing. The thing says, pfft. And they go, alright, well, you're too drunk to drive yourself home. We got to take you in. And the guy says it that fast as he's starting to cuff him. Like it's all right, well, we got to take you in. You know, they start going into it. Now, that's fast. That's really fast. And with the information that I am currently providing, that sounds really fast. You know, they just jump right into it. Fuck. You know, that has to be startling for somebody. To be told, you're too drunk to drive home, we're taking you in. All at the same time that they're grabbing your wrists and starting to cuff you up. That's gotta be some shit. So, the dude begins to struggle with the cops. He fights with the cops. The cops repeatedly tell him not to struggle, not to fight, to comply. I don't know if you've noticed at this point, shit has gone off the rails. Right? Who escalated it to that point? Was it the guy for fighting with the cops? Was it the cops for quickly trying to cuff the guy? Just because somebody's trying to quickly cuff you, that doesn't entirely mean that, you know, you gotta fight them. And if you decide to start fighting two cops, like, the outcome at that point is unknowable. You've got a really good option of they're able to bring you under control, and you know, you wind up with 50 fucking charges. Like, that's pretty much your best option at that point. Or you could get shot and killed, and that's the worst case scenario, right? Everything on either end of those and everything in between could possibly happen. Like, you stepped over the line at that point. If the cop is quickly cuffing you, that should be negligible compared to, so then I fought the cops. That's my opinion. You don't fight the cop. Like, it's it's funny. Somebody in the comments asked me to recommend, they were like a board, recommend something for me. You know, you keep saying to get away from all this shit. What should I do? And I recommended the Vlad Tautosh novels to him by Stephen Brust, for anybody who's interested. They're great. It's a medieval fantasy world, magic and, you know, sorcery. It's very like old school, like swashbuckler type stuff. Dude's a fencer and shit like that. But he's an assassin, and he runs like illegal activity in this part of the town. This Vlad Tautosh character, right? And, you know, he's part of a much wider, you know, network of criminals. You know, it's organized crime. And one of their biggest rules is you don't fight the city guard. This is like, you don't fight the city guard. Every once in a while, this is a fucked up world. This is not like the world we actually have. Every once in a while, the city guard will just randomly pop into this dude's place and beat the shit out of him. Like, this is something that happens to people in this organization. They would just randomly bust up into your joint and rough you up, and the rule is you don't fight back. Because if you fight back, well, now you're getting taken in, and that's going to be a problem. Because now they're going to be asking you questions. And we don't really want you answering questions, because we're organized crime. Like, that's how that kind of works. So, like, even with organized crime, the rule is you don't fight the law, because then it just brings nothing but more fucking problems. You take the beating. Like, as fucked up as it sounds to say that like that, is, you know, especially in light of everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, the smart guy turtles up and just prays, please don't beat me to death. This is like, you apply. Yeah. Even if you're going away for good, you gotta kind of resign yourself and be like, you're either hoping to die, in which case nobody should mourn you. Well, I mean, other than people that might be special in your life. I don't know. But if it's so bad that you're like, well, I'd rather just die than fucking suffer through justice. Yeah, fuck you then. But if there's any glimmer of hope in your life, you don't do that. Like, that's just a bad fucking idea. So, guy fights with the cops. gets a taser, wrestles it away from the cop, takes it. Now you're going away for a good long time, no matter if this is your first infraction or not. Right? Hello? Yeah, I'll be right down. 1 second. Hey. Hold on. Where was I? What was I saying? Oh, grabs the taser. Now he's like double, triple, quadruple fucked. He is triple dog dare you fucked. This guy is... Then he runs, which is just more charges. Then he turns and fires the taser. I mean, like, this dude is just stacking insurmountable problems on himself. If they get this guy and bring him back in, most likely, like, I think the guy was, what, he was 27? Yeah, he was going to be in prison until he was well into his 60s, most likely. Just with all the fucking shit. This is like with all the shit that he's going to rack up with just everything he did in those few minutes. So dude takes off running, fires at the cop. The cop draws his service pistol and shoots the guy twice in the back, killing him. So, was there anything else he could have done? Yeah. He could have fucking continued to chase after the motherfucker. Like, you chase after him. He's drunk. You chase after him. You let him wear himself down a little bit. You do the Pepe Le Pew thing. Let him book his fucking ass off while you after him. And then sooner or later he'll fucking tire out and you just... He's drunk. You chase him down. Right? Now, if the dude's running into traffic, you don't shoot him. This is like that. He could run into I mean, I guess you have to weigh in a split second that he could wind up killing everybody in that little section of cars. Or I shoot this dude and, you know... But I don't know if there's traffic. Apparently this was at night. Does it say right here where it was? It was, I imagine it was at night. It was at night. So I can't imagine there was a terrible amount of traffic on the road, but... And it's a parking lot that had people in it. And cars and shit. Apparently a car was shot. Dude's firing his gun. This isn't a movie where you rip off 100 rounds and all of the pedestrians, you know, run away, don't get hit, and the bad guy's gone. Like, what are you doing? Oh my God. So, man is now dead. Cop is now fired. Fast forward to today. I'm driving home from work. And they're reading off the list of charges that they're going to be throwing at this cop that shot this guy. And it's 11 charges. And man, there's some shit he ain't going to beat. All the charges for, you know, firing into a crowd of people, man, that you're not gonna beat that shit. What he did was fucking dumb. He's fired, fine. And then we find out one of the charges, by the way, this actually has meaning. One of the charges was that he failed to administer first aid. Right? That's important that that's one of the charges. I have to tell you that. Because that was one of them that struck me, and I heard it, and I remembered it. And now we're into a couple of hours later. So, now we get more information coming out about the victim. Not a saint, but who amongst us is? But he was convicted, and I'm reading this directly from the Daily Mail article, from the Tim Pool video. Dude, he's my headline news. Like, I read enough to get the information, and then I go, okay, I'll formulate my own opinions. I turn him off. He gets about 5 minutes maybe out of me at best. So, on this article, it said he was convicted on 4 counts. False imprisonment, which doesn't mean that he was falsely imprisoned. It means that he held somebody against their will. I don't know, false imprisonment. All I know is the definition legally of what that is. When you get that, it's because you held somebody against their will. Either there was a hostage, kidnapped somebody, or he held somebody against their will. That's false imprisonment. Simple battery / family, which means domestic disputes that wound up being wife beating. Battery simple and felony cruelty. Well, battery simple, which means he smacked somebody around, and felony cruelty / cruelty to children. So felony level cruelty charge, and it was cruelty to children. Now, what cruelty entails exactly, I don't know. I see felony cruelty / cruelty to children. So I know it was a felony level cruelty against children. So, not a great guy. Did he deserve to die for all of that? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I might be but I don't know, that cruelty, the felony cruelty to children? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Perhaps I might sit here and go, me, fuck him. Or maybe I might be like, nah, he doesn't deserve to die for that. I mean, that's cruel, but that's not that cruel. I don't know. How many different, how far does the spectrum of cruelty run? As far as the law is concerned. Yeah, he could have, his kid could have been screaming in a department store, and he could have went, stop! And somebody could have called the cops on him, and he could have got charged with cruelty against children. I don't think he deserves to die for that, if that's the case. Or he could have locked a child that he beat, which was his own, in a cage. At which point I kind of go, fuck him. You know what I mean? That's the spectrum of all those. The second case takes it all. False imprisonment, locked the kid in a cage. So, knowing that, you kind of have to wonder, well, did the cops know that? I imagine when they rolled up on this dude, one of them at some point ran his ID, probably saw his rap sheet, knew that this dude was going to most likely resist because he has all of these charges. He was on probation for all of these charges. Him getting a Dewey, that's not good. So that might have been why he blows into the breathalyzer. The cop says, well, you're not good enough to go drive home, and immediately begins to cuff him. Because the cop probably suspected that this guy that was looking at probation on these crimes probably not going to just go, oh, well, you got me, officer. because he was probably not wanting to go to prison. So, he fights. He beats two cops. Like, he didn't beat them, but he beat them enough to grab one of their fucking tasers and run. He turns back, fires the taser at the guy. If you're that guy, I mean, a person that desperate to stay out of prison, he's on probation for false imprisonment, simple battery / family, simple battery, and felony cruelty / cruelty to children. Imagine to yourself if you were in that unfortunate position to now be faced with a real ass fucker. What lengths would you go to stay free? I mean, the lengths that have already been gone to get him in trouble. This man's capable of a lot. So, and I mean, I don't know if the cops took the time to read all the details of these 4 charges. I haven't. All I have is this. And I'm trying to not make an emotional response based on what I now know. And so I'm taking into consideration the case and how it's going to wind up going now that I know the charges that they're levying against this guy, and now that more information is coming out. This speaks to state of mind of the officer. This helps him amazingly in his case. If both officers say, yes, we walked into that situation knowing his history, suspecting what he might do, that's going to be amazing for that cop's case. And then we find out in another article that apparently they have body cam audio of the cop giving the guy CPR and saying, "Keep breathing, stay with me, Mr. Brooks." Which means that not only did the guy administer first aid, but that he was adamant about saving the man's life. So again, we're in a situation where the immediate story hits. Everybody looks at the bland, bare bones facts and makes an emotional response based on that cop killed that guy. What did that guy do that was so bad that that cop killed that guy? And everybody says there's nothing that he could have possibly done in the interaction that we've seen or heard described that warrants that. And then as more information comes out, we have to readjust our thinking. Now, with all that I know right now, do I believe that man deserved to die? No. Do I believe that cop made a major fuck up by shooting that man? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You keep running him down, man. I don't give a shit how tired you are. You do it. Do your job. Should that guy have fought the cops? Fuck no. No. Shouldn't have fought the cops. Shouldn't have tried to run. Shouldn't have grabbed the fucking taser. All of that. Bad decisions. Very bad decisions. Bad decisions being made all over the fucking place in this. Should the guy have fucking gone out drinking and driving? No. Very bad decision. Ultimately, at the end of the day, as far as I am concerned, a whole lot of bad decisions made by one person and one very bad decision made by another person led to a person losing their life. You know, like, we should be allowed to make mistakes. And we should have to suffer the consequences of our mistakes. But the consequences of our mistakes should match the mistakes we make. But that's a perfect fucking worldview of things, isn't it? Sometimes you do one little wrong thing and it completely upends your shit. And you're like, fucking shit, because of this? There's I listen to Opie and Anthony a lot. And there's one story that Anthony tells that just fucking blows my mind. He and his girlfriend were on a flight. She, like, knocked over some wine on him. He got pissed off. It was the first time they'd ever fought. They're fighting with each other. It's just, escalating and escalating. They're getting more and more and more angry with each other. So she decides to get drunk as fuck. She gets drunk as fuck. Anthony comes home, sees her drunk as fuck, and goes, ugh. Knows she doesn't usually do this sort of thing. And just as happenstance, a cop buddy comes over. And he was dropping off something for Anthony. And Anthony's like, hey, can you come and look at my girl? She's drunk as shit. I don't know if I should take her to the hospital, if she needs fucking medical attention. I don't know how drunk she is. She's pretty fucking drunk. And he's like, well, alright. He goes in and talks to her for a bit, and he's like, man. He's like, a buddy of mine's an EMT. Bring her down to the hospital. He'll check her over. And, whatever needs done, get done. Thanks, man. Takes her to the hospital, right? You check her out. She's drunk. Well, is she, like, fucked up? Yeah, she's pretty fucked up. No, I mean, is she, like, gonna die? No, she's just drunk as shit. Like, she's just sleeping off. And then they bring in a psychiatrist who talks to Anthony's girlfriend and then leaves. And then they admit Anthony's girlfriend to the psych ward. She's in there with, people doing the Thorazine shuffle. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's telling this story like you will not believe. At no point during this story, imagine your worst away. Go ahead. Whatever you think of, you'll never guess where this is going. And it went from, she spilled wine on me and we fought, to I was having to call hospital every day to try and get my girlfriend released from the psych ward. Sometimes you can just do one little thing wrong. And holy shit. What the fuck just happened? Or sometimes you can fuck up monumentally and walk away totally unscathed. But that man had ample opportunity to save himself a world of trouble. He was in a lot of trouble already. He did something fucking stupid, which was going to be the launching of all of the trouble that apparently he should have been going through. He was on probation. Like, well, now you're in fucking trouble. He deserved that. He deserved to get arrested. And he deserved to get all of the fucking consequences of that arrest. But he tried to dodge that fate. And when you try to dodge fate, when you try to dodge justice, everything turns to anarchy. He had ample opportunities to save himself from fate's whimsy. Because again, when you start going into the realm of utter chaos, anything can happen. You could wind up with a cop who's like, I'm in for a good run, and will chase him down and tussle with him again and cuff him and fucking take him in, and now you've picked up assaulting an officer, taking an officer's weapon, firing an officer's weapon at an officer, discharging a weapon around a shit ton of people. Like, then you pick up 50 new fucking charges. Welcome to your life is now over completely, and this dude got his bad guy. Or you could wind up with a cop that's like, I am not in the mood for a run. Or you could wind up with the cop, oh my god, I don't know what the fuck this guy's gonna do. Bah, 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 bah. Or you could wind up with the cop that goes, fuck it, I ain't running after that asshole. We got his car, we got his fucking license, and we know where he is, we'll pick him up later. You could wind up with... How far does the spectrum of the police force go? As far as attitudes of how they handle these types of situations. But how many lives are now over? Let's count the cost. We've got the man who's dead. We've got the cop who's fired. We've got the other cop that's now in the position of he has to be a state witness and get up there and say what happened. And he's got to make the decision. What do I do? Do I help my dude and tell a nice flowery version of what happened? Do I stick to the hard, rigid truth? And if people like it or not, be damned, it's the truth? Or do I side with the mob and sell this guy out and paint a really bad version of things? Do I dare do anything other than just tell the truth? Or, are they going to find out more information? Now that more information's coming out, this dude's got to be thinking, fuck. The state's putting me up as a star witness. If this guy really didn't want to kill this guy, did everything he possibly could to save him, and it's just a fucking tragedy. It's just like, I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, dude, this shit is just a fucking tragedy. As a side note, the Wendy's, those of you who thought maybe we were done with the Wendy's, no. I guess not long, or maybe the next day or whatever, after this happened, the Wendy's burnt. They burnt it to the ground. Why the Wendy's? Like, what did the Wendy's do? I mean, I guess the Wendy's called the cops. Is that the message that's supposed to be from that burning? Don't call the cops. Everything that happens from this point out is going to be an opportunity for there to be escalation or de-escalation. Everybody needs to really think through their actions from here on out, because no matter where you are, no matter what you do, somebody somewhere is watching. Every action and interaction we make at this point is potentially Armageddon. It's like, oh my god. What it must be like to be a cop right now, I can't even fucking fathom. It's just, wow, 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 wow. Kudos to the brave men and women who have the balls to just keep on with it. I just fucking hell, man. I don't know. Like, I imagine my life and my perspective on things would be completely different if I was a cop. But me, the where I am right now, I'd be like, fuck you all, and I would just be done. I'd be like, I don't give a shit. I'll go work for fucking some office building somewhere. I'll be their night security dude, and I'll just sit around and read books all night. Fuck that shit. Like, I would be out. Nope. Sorry. I'm out. Nope. This just fucking, it's insane to me, the shit that's going on right now. Fucking hell. So, there you go. That is my thoughts, my opinions, along with all of the facts that I have currently at my disposal. Now, we might find out tomorrow the previous reports are wrong, here and there. This is up to 7:10 p.m. on 6/17/2020. Anything that comes after this, I didn't fucking know. So don't shoot me. But hey, that's what I know. You take from it what you think. Did the man deserve to die? Absolutely fucking not. Did that cop do a dumb fucking thing? Yeah, absolutely he did. But I gotta tell you, man, the way it's starting to look, it's looking like this cop might get off a lot of these charges. What do you think's gonna happen then?